And more economic help could soon be on the way for Americans affected by the pandemic. But will it arrive in time to pay the bills next month? And will it be enough?
That's right. Tom Wade is live in the newsroom with congressional efforts to approve another relief package and the return of White House coronavirus briefings. Tom?
Hi there, Pat and Juan. Yeah, those are the million-dollar questions of the night, right? President Trump appears to be changing his stance on wearing face coverings. That was also today. But it comes months into the pandemic and after he's held political rallies. And on the economic aid front, Democrats and Republicans say they want to make a deal, but right now they appear very far apart on what that deal will look like. With the economic devastation continuing to spread because of the pandemic, tens of millions of Americans are at the mercy of Washington politicians who are now debating the next round of economic aid.
I didn't receive any of my back pay until this week, so it took literally exactly 117 days to receive my unemployment benefit. Cassie
D'Agostino of Los Angeles was working on a reality show when the pandemic hit and it was shut down. Like millions of others, she waited months for help from California, and now if federal aid expires at the end of July like it's supposed to, she doesn't know how she'll make ends meet.
I think about how I really have the past 4 months just been sitting hoping that I just get by, and it was a nightmare, but I'm lucky because eventually I was helped. There's so many people falling through the cracks.
Democrats on Capitol Hill are proposing a $3 trillion economic aid package. The GOP is looking at $1 trillion in aid, which would include cuts to the $600 a week unemployment check. President Trump was asked about the aid package today during his coronavirus press conference.
We want to have people go back and want to go back to work, as opposed to be sort of forced into a position where they're making more money than they expected to make, and the employers are having a hard time getting them back to work. So that was a decision that was made. I was against that original decision, but they did that. It still worked out well because it gave people a lifeline, a real lifeline. Now we're doing it again. They're thinking about doing 70% of the amount. The amount would be the same, but doing it in a little bit smaller initial amounts.
Democrats say the GOP has not shown them a bill.
Leader Schumer and I said today, we have our offer on the table. It's called the HEROES Act. We need to see your bill to be put on the table. We have a great piece of legislation. They seem to be in disarray. I don't know when they will get their act together.
Earlier in the day, President Trump held his first coronavirus press conference in months. He acknowledged tonight the coronavirus is spreading and proving difficult to control.
It will probably, unfortunately, get worse before it gets better.
And unlike the early months of the pandemic, Mr. Trump asked Americans to take mitigation measures seriously.
We're instead asking Americans to use masks, socially distance, and employ vigorous hygiene.
It was a one-man show without a single doctor by his side.
I was not invited up to this point. I'm assuming that I'm not going to be there.
The president continues to receive criticism for offering mixed messages about what the task force is now pushing, the use of face coverings. Just hours after Mr. Trump tweeted a picture of himself wearing a mask, calling it patriotic, he attended a fundraiser at his hotel in Washington without one and without social distancing.
So I think a good deal of what we have suffered is clearly the Trump virus.
Speaker Pelosi says the president's new embrace of wearing face coverings is good for the country, but comes late and at a deep price.
If he had said months ago, let's wear masks, let's socially distance instead of having rallies and political whatever they were, then more people would have followed his lead as the president of the United States.
Republicans say they want funding for reopening schools to be the centerpiece of the next coronavirus bill. But the U.S. Surgeon General says precautions taken outside of schools will play a huge role in the timetable for children to return to the classroom. Juan, back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you.